about dreams. And I think I was inspired because I had a very bizarre dream um, this morning or last night, whatever you want to call it. But not here to share about the dream, but I think is what uh, I may have had the dream to help inspire me to talk about dreams, I guess you can say. But anyways, get back on track. So everybody, we all have dreams of some sort. Um, Many of which we probably don't even remember, but we do have some dreams that are very memorable. Um, and so it got me thinking, why do we dream? And I was going through scriptures to look for the answer, and I found two answers that seemed to sum up pretty good what I was looking for. And mainly, dreams could be one way of God's communicating to us, um, passed on to us through the Holy Spirit or Him directly. So the first set of scriptures I wanted to share is in Job, Job chapter 33, verses 15 through 18, or sorry, 14 through 18, which says, Indeed, God speaks once or twice, yet no one notices it. In a dream, a vision of the night, when sound sleep falls on men while they slumber in their beds, then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction, that he may turn man aside from his conduct and keep man from pride. He keeps back his soul from the pit and has a life from passing over into Sheol. Um, so it's kind of a communication to give us warning from doing something we shouldn't do, I guess you can say. Um, and also to keep, uh, maybe somebody from harm, like in the case with Joseph, God spoke to Joseph in the dream to get himself, Mary, and Jesus out, um, out of Israel, because of what King Herod was fixing to do. And then when everything was safe and King Herod was dead, God dr- spoke to Joseph in a dream again, through an angel, to tell him that it was safe to go back to Nazareth, where Jesus was raised by Joseph and Mary. So, but God could also use it, for testing us. And I found this in Deuteronomy chapter 13, and I'm actually going to read verses 1 through 5 on this. And it says, If a prophet or a dreamer of dreams arises among you and gives you a sign or wonder, and the sign or the wonder comes true concerning which he spoke to you, saying, Let us go after other gods whom you have not known, and let us serve them, you shall not listen to the words of the prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God is testing you to find out if you love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. You shall follow the Lord your God and fear him, and you shall keep his commandments, listen to his voice, serve him, and cling to him. But that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has counseled rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you up from the land of Egypt and redeemed you from the house of slavery, to seduce you away from the way in which the Lord your God commanded you to walk. So you shall purge the evil from among you. So God could use dreams through other people to test our sincerity and our and the strength of our faith and believing in Him. Um, and then He also can use dreams to other people to show His divine power. You know, like Pharaoh, the Pharaoh during Joseph's time that he was there had a dream. None of the soothsayers, none of his wise men could figure out the dream, but Joseph was given the gift of interpreting dreams that God had sent to other people. And in this dream, when Pharaoh told him the dream, you know, God revealed to Joseph that what it meant was that Egypt was going to have 7 years of plenty, but then they're going to have 7 years of famine. And so Joseph revealed this information to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh, in turn, made Joseph basically the second most powerful person in all of Egypt, only under the subjugation of Pharaoh himself. And as it as the dream panned out, there were 7 years of plenty in Egypt, and Joseph very smartly and wisely, with God's instruction, saved every bit of extra grain that they ever grew. And then the 7 years of famine hit, but not only did Egypt have plenty to survive on during those 7 years, but Joseph had acquired so much that they were able to sell it to the nations around them. And through that, Joseph was reunited with his family and his father, who in turn was allowed to move back not just to Egypt, but to the best area that Egypt had to offer. Um, so kind of got off track there, but yeah, dreams are basically a way for us to communicate, or for God or the Holy Spirit to communicate to us, especially if we are trying to shut Him out. Um, a dream is a very effective way, but we got to be careful because dreams can also be manifested from man's subconscious pride, greed, will of the heart, what you will. Not all dreams are God given or God sent. Some dreams are actually from our own personal pride, lust, desire. You know, I'll say it, some of our dreams are inspired from what the enemy is trying to get us to believe. Um, but I wanted to focus on why God uses dreams in us. And to me, it's communication to keep us from doing wrong, you know, to help us maybe see something that could, in in the end, hurt us, um, or it could be a way of testing us to make sure that we are truly set on Him and Him alone. And when He does that, He will often use dreams in others who are false prophets, who are the agents of the enemy, to try to convince us that um, what they're dreaming is what is true and accurate, and that we must follow them. Um, so definitely, if you get anybody that says I had a dream and starts professing the dream and it's very contradictory to the Bible, yeah, stay away from them. Um, But um, I don't know if and God will give us dreams that we won't understand maybe right away, but then maybe something happens, and all of a sudden the dream that we had makes sense. I don't. Dreams are a very funny thing. But to me, looking for this answer this morning, uh, I'm convinced though that the dreams that are given by God, obviously they're not for evil; they're for good. They're to protect us from whatever we might be thinking or doing, or protect us from something that's going to happen, like in the case of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, or maybe to assure us that what we're doing, um, that we're on the right path. But his dreams that he sends us, whether we understand them right away or not, are always to protect us and to keep us where we need to be in our relationship with him. But he has stated that he will send dreams to others that will try to deceive us through the dreams that he sends them to test us, to test our faith, and to test our belief in him. So we always must be vigilant. We must cling to him, as he says. And the best way to do that is through prayer and through reading his word daily. Find yourself a God fearing, Bible following church where you have other members to not only hold you accountable to your faith, but can help strengthen your faith through a combined love fellowship for each other that is the church. So, with that, guys, I love you. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.